Hello and welcome to New Parents in Training. So we picked up this Bravo, a bit more 2-slice toaster. Today we're gonna unbox it and then try it out. And to kind of see how this a $90 toaster, what's so special about it and how it compared to a cheaply made toaster. Anyway, let's unbox this first. First you have the manual instruction. Not much else inside the box, it's just the manual instruction and then the toaster itself. That's very simple unboxing. Let me go try this out. Here's a side-by-side of the two toasters. One is the one that we currently use. This is the Hamilton Beach. This one only costs $18. And this is the Bravo, and this one is $90. As you can see, the Bravo is definitely much bigger than the Hamilton Beach, even though they can only heat up 2 slides at a time. For the Hamilton Beach, underneath, there's a place where you can route your cable. This one, the cable is actually really short, but if you need to store this somewhere, then you can route the cable up, put it into a storage. Underneath, there's a tray to collect all the crumbs. Back in the days, when we need to throw out the crumbs, we need to flip the toaster upside down to shake all the crumbs out. But now you can just take out the tray and the tray should have all the crumbs and easier to dump out the crumbs. Let me talk about how to use this. This is super simple because toaster, right? It's not supposed to be complicated. So you have a knob here from 1 to 7. That's how dark you want the brownie to be. So 1 is the lightest and 7 is like really black. Anyway, I typically put it around 2, between 2 and 3. And here you have the bagel and here you have the cancel and here's the lever. So this lever, you press it down and then we'll start the browning process. Now if you are going to brown the bagel, press it down and you hit the bagel and then the light comes out. Oh, sorry, getting hot. So anyway, I can cancel this and the lever will pop right up. So yeah, it's really simple to use. And if you press it up to look at the bread, it will stop as well. So now let's move on to the Bravo. Well, Bravo, the cable is quite long, definitely a plus. And also underneath, there's a place where you can route the cable as well. It is helpful. If you think the cable is too long, then you can just route the cable up a little bit. Definitely good for cable management. And it also has a tray. The tray will collect all the crumbs as well. So you don't have to flip the toaster upside down to take out the crumbs. To start, they also have a lever on the side. This is how you're gonna start. As you can see, the light come up and then you can press cancel and then it will stop and the lever will pop up. Now, while it is doing the browning process, see this button is lit, it's doing this job. And you can pull the lever up to look at the bagel or the bread without stopping it. So you can let it go and it will drop down. The only time it will stop is you press the cancel button. Now it pop up. Anyway, now down here is the knob. It's like how dark or how light you want the browning to be. Now here are the buttons, a bit more. It will heat up the bread a little bit longer if you think the bread is not dark enough in terms of browning process. And then you have the bagel, you have the frozen, and here's the cancel button. One other thing I want to mention is the toaster ready alert sound. The default is on high. You can select high, low, or mute. The way that you're going to select the different noise level is to press and hold cancel. And then all the lights will lit up here. I have to make sure that they remain lit. The first one, a bit more, is the high sound. And bagel is the low. And finally, the frozen is the mute. Now let's finally do some toast. And I got here some bread and bagel. And also I have some frozen ones in the freezer. Gonna take that out in a little bit. But something I recently learned, if your bread has higher sugar content, such as processed bread, usually they have higher sugar content, then you should adjust to lower setting when you are browning the bread. Because it will take less of energy or the burn to make your bread browning. So for this type I'm gonna set to be a little bit higher to 3. So first stop, gonna do some bread. So put 2 here, put 2 here. Now for this test, well, nothing is really that scientific, but I'm just wanting to see like for both this 3 setting at 3, how well it toasts the bread. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the only thing I'm trying to see how well the cheaper version, cheaper toaster compared to the more expensive one. Okay, anyway, let's see. Okay, again, if you do the Bravo, you can push the lever up to see how well the bread has been doing and push it back down. It will not stop the toasting process. But for the cheaper version, if I push this up, it will just stop. Okay, the cheaper version is already done. Ooh, it's really hot. Just gonna wait for this for a little bit more. I didn't have a clock, but it seems like it's about 2 minutes or so for the Hamilton Beach to finish. Okay, it beeped and it's finished. Now, one other thing about the Bravo is, as you can see, the bread is not really popping out all that high. You can actually push the lever a little bit more to take the bread out. Now, it's especially helpful if you have the smaller bread, like English muffin. This will come in really handy because usually they are very tiny. Once they get in there, they're not going to come out all that willingly. Okay, so here, this is the Bravo. And, oh, it's really hot. But as you can see, it browned up pretty evenly, I would say. And let's look at the cheaper version. Well, I mean, it does pretty similar job, I would say. And Hamilton Beach actually finished quicker than the Bravo. I also wanted to try out the a bit more function. I left the toast back in, and now it's press to start and see how that will work. See, it's not starting from the 3 anymore. It's just starting close to 1, and it's just gonna toast the bread a little bit more to have it brown a little bit darker. Now you can combine this function with the bagel or frozen as well. Okay, it took a little bit under a minute. So browning the bread a little bit more, but not as much. So if you want to have the bread a little bit darker, you can press that button and then push the lever down, and we'll just have it in there to toast it up a little bit more. But just don't forget to turn this off. If you somehow have this thing on and you try to toast function, and we'll just start at the low setting instead of at the original setting that you start out with. Now time for bagel. This has already been halved. All right, so the inside should face inward, like so. Drop it in. For the Hamilton Beach, I need to press this down and then press bagel. And for this, I need to press bagel and then start. Okay, for Bravo, it's actually finished. Oh, they both pretty much finished at the same time. Now, one thing I forgot to mention, I let both machines to cool down before I start testing for the bagel, making sure that they both start on at the same temperature point. Okay, I'm going to use a tongue. All right, so for the Hamilton Beach, as you can see, the most of the outer ring is toasty. The back end or the front, however you want to call it, a little browning, like on the side here. Oh, the browning for this is actually really nice. Oh, wow. This is actually better than the regular bread. Okay, so this is very interesting. Now for the Hamilton Beach, the outside, which is the face area or whatever you want to call it, it was hard. This is not. It's still kind of soft. But the inside, this is hard. This is very interesting. Actually, it's just like really, really nicely toasted. Yeah, I would say. This is a very pleasant surprise. Yeah, look at this. The outside here, still a bit soft, not hard. The inside is all toasted. Compared to the Hamilton Beach, the outside is kind of hard. It's not soft. And the inside is not too toasted. Like compared to the Bravo, you can definitely tell the difference. I mean, the setting I haven't changed. They're both on 3s. But yeah. So this is the bagel. Now let's move on to the frozen ones. Lastly, I want to test the frozen bread. Not that we bought regular bread and put in the freezer. That kind of defeats the purpose. But this is actually in the frozen section of the supermarket where they sell the frozen bread, and we picked them up. Anyway, for the Hamilton Beach, it does not have any button or setting for the frozen bread. But for Bravo, it does. It has a frozen button here. Now what I'm gonna do is just put the bread in the Hamilton Beach and use the regular setting and see how that will come out as. And the setting hasn't changed in both machines. We wait for them to cool down before we do the next test. So now they are all cool. Gonna put in here and then put 2 here. For Hamilton Beach, I'm just gonna start. As before, the Hamilton Beach always come out a little bit faster when it does just regular toasting. And Bravo is still ongoing. It's almost finished. It's in between 2 and 1 now. The Bravo is finished. It took about a minute more than the Hamilton Beach. Okay, so now let's see. It has some browning going on, but not much. The bread is definitely hot right now, but it's, I can still kind of handle it by my fingertips. Now for the Hamilton Beach, the bread, just barely any browning going on. So yeah, the Bravo at least has some browning going on. My final thought about the Bravo toaster. Now, it is a wonderful machine. As you can tell from the video, when we're doing the bagel, it came out very evenly, to my surprise. Like, I've never seen a bagel that been toasted that evenly before. Now, however, here's the kicker. This thing costs almost $90, and the Hamilton Beach only $18. There's a huge price difference. Now, the result, if you just want to use regular bread to get toast, then this Hamilton Beach, the cheaper toaster of the two, does really good job. It came out faster, and also it toasts up the bread pretty well, I would say. But if you want to have like more even browning and also a really nicely toasted bagel, then you should definitely go with the Bravo. The bagel came out really nice, yeah, and also has a frozen function and toasts up the frozen bread really well too. But for the cheaper version, there's no function for the frozen bread. So anyway, if you have any questions, comment down below. Until next time, bye.